All right. Welcome back. My name is Amar, and today we're doing conversations with Jennifer, who's an estate planning attorney. And specifically, today we're talking about collectibles and other valuables in your estate plan. Right, Jennifer?
That's correct.
Yeah. And so, why should someone consider making collectibles or other valuables part of their estate planning process, if you will?
So that's a great question. Oftentimes, those types of items tend to carry sentimental value. They can also include monetary value, and they tend to be the sort of things that are hard to keep track of, unlike a bank account or real property or a retirement account. Those types of assets are easy to track and put on a list, whereas tangible personal property, collectibles, anything like that, beneficiaries tend to remember. I remember going to grandma's house and seeing that painting that I loved or that antique desk. Where is it? And those things are also, I mean, maybe not an antique desk, but
Yeah.
those things, jewelry, can easily
Jewelry. Yeah.
disappear. Yeah. So I find it's really important for clients to put together a list. They can do it however they want. So I have some clients who have binders where they take pictures of everything. I have some clients who just write down a list and try and describe the items. And right in the estate planning document, I give them a mechanism for distributing those specific items to specific beneficiaries or how they're going to be distributed. Because again, I find that those are the sort of items that are fought over sometimes, or there's a lot of discussions back and forth about who's getting what, and again, not so much based on other assets, but really in particular these types of assets.
There's a lot more emotions involved, I
There
find,
are.
right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of things could be sentimental to one beneficiary, but may not be sentimental to another beneficiary, and their
Correct.
views could be opposite. So,
Correct. And they're particularly hard too because you can't divide them equally. So, I have a ton of clients who have multiple children and they say, divide everything equally. Well, how do you divide, a painting or a couch three ways? So, you
yeah.
have to have a mechanism in place for either you, the client, making the decision or the beneficiaries making the decision. And how do you do that?
So how do we solve for this? So let's say if we have some valuables,
Hmm.
and I know you just mentioned that you have documents in the trust that can assign it to a specific person or whatnot.
Correct.
What if nobody wants those things? Do you sell it? Do you give it to charity? How does that work?
Yeah, so it depends on the terms of the estate planning document. I like to include provisions on that just to protect the trustee. So you have a trustee in place and you say, look, divide it among these three beneficiaries to the extent practicable. And if not, you have two options. One is to try and sell it. And if it doesn't have a marketable value, then you want to go about either donating it or giving it away. And we really leave it up to the trustee to make a decision as far as which organization to donate it to. But I like to include those provisions right in there.
Awesome. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please put it below. Again, we like to keep this a conversation. And stay tuned for next week where we're going to answer the opposite question, right, Jennifer? So let's say you're a trustee and you find all these valuable items, collectible items. What do you do? How do you value them? How do you move forward? So please stay tuned for next week. Thank you.
Thank you.